This Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, they're going to have the Jujutsu Kaisen sleeves available on SleepChief. And if you use discount code MCO40, you'll get the chance to save. Does that mean other releases also will save 5% with discount code MCO40? Yes, it does. Leave a link down below so you can grab yours today. MCO40. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more Oscar. Hey, remember the Black Feather Dragon that we saw a while back, right? The guy that lets you mill when you take damage from an attack or card effect. Just a free mill 5, and then any monsters in the graveyard, it gets 400 attack points. It's on a level 8 synchro. That is entirely generic. Well, you might have forgot about this guy because, you know, it's from Premium. Actually, to be fair, if you kind of look around Premium Gold these days, there's a decent amount of value still in this set, actually. Surprisingly, a lot of the exclusives that we did get ported in. Look, an Egyptian God's still worth 20 bucks. Oh, look, full one Armor Master, Stardust, Egyptian Gods. Yeah, the more niche, collectible things that kind of float around in here, still kind of doing their thing. Lances at 3 bucks. It's not exactly something that you think to look in. Ancient Pixie Dragon's still sitting at the $4 mark, but Rage, or Dark Rage back here, coming in at pretty expensive, honestly. 9-10 bucks for this guy. I didn't think that we would continue to see this kind of trug along, but people out here are like, hey, you know, I can get a free mill 5 in my Tier Elements deck, you know, from any sort of thing that you might set up, and that's just more synchro power, or excuse me, more fusion power for the deck at the end of the day. So why would you not want that, all right? Why do you not want the chance to generate all of this free advantage that your deck kind of can set up? Your opponent's just like, what am I supposed to do with this? Now, I found this very interesting. This is the DDD Vice King Requiem. And your sales data on this the last couple of days has been a ride. And, you know, it's not like it's gone up in terms of pricing, because there's just so many of them on the market. You have 193 listings left, considering the, you know, the cranium that has come through on the last couple of days to make sure that people could pick this up for the interactions that they want it for. But they're dropping off in quantities. If you're expecting this to be the next most expensive card, I think you're a very, very, very far, long ways away from that actually happening. So, interesting to see that this has been pushing on up. It's not all the time that we see something from Ghost from the Past start haunting the market again. I know, I'm sorry, it was terrible. But it is definitely interesting to see. Gravekeepers Inscription. So, they have been, this has been, I think, on every search, every page of TCG Player with the search term Yu-Gi-Oh! Top 10 cards to help counter today's meta. And guess what? Gravekeepers Inscription shot up through the roof. Now, we've followed this card. I did say in the past that, you know, with this hitting the $3-4 mark, that you should probably pick up a playset of it. The fact that somebody just spent $10 on this a couple days ago is actually wild to me. And the fact that, you know, you are pretty much cruise controlling at the $8 mark with this. Thank you, TCG Player, for causing the buyout on this card, because now more and more people are going to pick this up. I mean, the 3 effects are good. It just doesn't do anything really to cash Tira at the end of the day. And I think that's the deck that, you know, players are looking at right now, that they're like, if I'm going to play the game, that's the deck that I have to deal with. All right. And if you honestly can't deal with it, you're not going to have a fun time. That's just kind of how it is at the moment. The Red Eyes Black Flare Dragon. Now, keep in mind, we have a 30, 40 cent, 50 cent version of this down here. But then you come up here to the Clash of Rebellion Super Rare. You're like, what in the world has been happening to this guy? $6.50, $6.85, $6.99, $7, $7.50, $8. You know, this is kind of popping off for a little guy. This is one of those monsters that you look at. It's also a Gemini, so you already know that's a little bit interesting of a application there. But this just continues to cruise on up. So, If you're a Red Eyes fan, you look at one of the harder cards to actually pull out here. Once again, it does have a reprint, but people do want their holo versions of this just to get the chance to play with. Dragublion. Now, full disclaimer here. Horus is coming. And I've said this a lot. We've already seen Giant Trainer start to spike up a little bit as people are kind of like, oh, you know, like that's kind of cool. You know, big ol' scary Giant Trainer. Heroes of Revenge, secret versions. These have moved a little bit. Hasn't been too much, but this is one of those, you know, little disclaimers. It goes, hey, you know, if you're planning on playing anything Horus here, you know, this and the number 100 do the OTK. You know, these are very, very powerful cards. If you want to get in ahead of things here, I mean, you can get the Ultra down here from Ghost from the Past for 45 cents, especially in like a big order from one of these bigger shops, just to, you know, make sure you have a copy. Some people perform more bling than others, but $2 versus 50 cents, it's not that crazy. Now this was genuinely interesting. So, I mean, you have how many scapegoats just to make sure that you can have whatever crazy high rarity you want of this? You know, there's just something about this. I can't really put my finger on it here, but these are $12. I repeat, this is a $12 collector rare. Now, once again, to be fair with you here, if you got people out here that they want to pick up the expensive, the Ultra Retro Pack versions, everything. Actually, I don't even remember all of the scapegoat. Yeah, Retro Pack. You have the OTS Alti at $40. You got some Dark Legend Supers. You got your choice of whichever blinged out version of scapegoat you want. I mean, it's not like this card has application right now in the current meta, but you're pushing $12, $13 for this. So it's something to just kind of consider for old format or new format for picking up sake. Okay, Doom Virus Dragon. You know, I actually think I'm pretty impressed that these are still holding. Where are they at? $5, $6, $5? Yeah. Not really much push across the board here with these. We're just kind of doing our thing. Cool stuff, though. At least they're affordable. You know, the little cost of bling these days. You can pick up your complete set at 18 cents, 20 cents, 20 cents. It's amazing that you have all these printings down here and you still have the one up here that's worth the most. Okay. Utopic Dragon, number 99. You know, original prints of these. I like the dip down there. But nice $3.50 for $5. Actually, these ramp up pretty quickly for the original prints of these guys. I still don't think that this card is like all that crazy cool, but it's still $5 and they do move every once in a while. Utopia Dragon Roar here. Nice 20 cents. The Brothers of Legend said hasn't been kind to the market. There hasn't really been a lot of crazy. I mean, like, this Utopia stuff was very cool. I loved what it did, but it just wasn't very meta relevant. Perolinos. Hey, Tier Elements players. Somebody just bought 3 at $30. $28. Yep. We're going. Perolino is stretching back up to that $30 mark. People are looking at Tier Elements right now and they're going, hey, you know, it's not going to get hit on future lists. Like, there's no reason. The TCG's not going to crater this any further. They have no reason to at this point. So, based on that knowledge, they're like, hey, it's a safe investment. Interesting. Absorb Fusion. These are still... I love the fact that these continue to dip down. But people still look at this card and they're like, hey, you know, I'm going to go ahead and pick this up. I can only imagine a world where we bring Brilliant Fusion back. I also love the fact you can get the Italian versions up here as well. But yeah, you're basically looking at like $7 probably after tax and shipping for some of these first edition copies. And we have our good old friend Norton back here. You know, so many people want to see Norton actually come back that it's actually insane. I love the fact that there was a time that this was $1 and then we dropped right on back down. Somebody paid 69 cents giggity for these. Yeah, it looks like we're cruise controlling at $1 again. I fear the day that we actually see this guy come back. So there's things happening across the market. Whether or not they're going to be a long-term, a short-term, things are still worth it. Now, a ban list will obviously shoot things in all sorts of crazy directions. It depends on what we see and how things will actually happen with said future lists. But until that time comes, it's all speculation. So please, leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.